Guys, saving the planet is hard, especially considering climate change. The changing climate brings rising temperatures that fuel fast developing hurricanes, record heat waves, and unpredictable flooding. Our coastline is disappearing, and vulnerable communities are losing their livelihoods. As a result, many of us see this as a reason to live more sustainably and lessen our impact on the planet. And so we drive electric vehicles, we energize our homes with solar power, we use biodegradable and recyclable products, and some of us wear secondhand clothing. These are all good efforts. In fact, many of them are essential. But if I'm being honest, they don't address the root problem. The root problem is consumerism. Better yet, hyperconsumerism. Simply put, we buy too much stuff. Now, that's a rich statement coming from someone like myself, considering I am a product designer and a design professor. People like me design the things you buy. We've normalized planned obsolescence, where we design new products that make the current version feel old and outdated, which makes you feel forced to buy the next new thing. We're all stuck in this consumeristic cycle of make, buy, use, discard. It's a cycle of constant extraction and constant waste, which furthers the climate crisis. So, the question that we need to ask ourselves is, how do we become more responsible consumers? One solution that I propose is craft. Craft isn't just art making. It's culture building. It's a mindset, a system of thought, something called craft thinking. Craft thinking prioritizes process over outcomes. It promotes principles like quality over quantity, repairability over replaceability. When we apply these principles, we extend the use phase of the consumeristic cycle while decreasing the frequency of the other phases. Craft emphasizes skill and longevity over speed and novelty. For the maker or the designer, the energy invested is more valuable than the end product. For the consumer, the sentiment embedded in a well-designed product is worth more than dollars and cents. This forms a sentimental bond between the maker, the object, and the consumer. So back to this question. How do we become more responsible consumers? Let's look at how designers can use craft thinking. So, design is a process of decision making. When designers like myself decide to use craft thinking in our practice, we create opportunities for resilience and repairability, which extends the lifespans of the products that we make. In my studio, I often design products using as few pieces and parts as possible, which reduces points of failure, but also ensures that when something like a stitch breaks, it can be easily repaired by either a seamstress or the end user if they have basic sewing skills. In other instances, crafts can look like a 3D printed pair of shoes. 3D printing is a digital craft that empowers individuals to take manufacturing into their own hands. You see, traditional manufacturing techniques often require large inventories, which can result in a ton of production waste. In contrast, digital fabrication techniques like 3D printing allows you to manufacture one piece at a time. In other words, things can be made to order. Now, I recognize that 3D printing isn't quite suited for mass production just yet, but advancements in the technology point to a future where they will be. All of this research and experiments that I do in my studio, I take that and use it in my role as a design professor. These students will become the designers of the future. It is critical that they use craft thinking. They must learn to build resilient products, because if obsolescence can be planned, then so can resilience. Many of these students are digital natives, which means they are screen babies. All right? Most of their creative output happens digitally. As a result of that, we teach them how to work with their hands. They design and build Bluetooth speakers, shoes, and a host of other products, where they learn the skills necessary to make these things beautiful, but also make them functional. That tacit knowledge will live in their hands. That is something only achievable through craft. Recently, I had the opportunity to share some of my ideas around craft with the Baton Rouge community as an artist in residence at the Open Experimental Studio. The gallery turned into a makerspace for those who wanted to create. It was a classroom for those interested to learn about design and craft. And it was a showcase for those who were just interested in watching. If we want people to reimagine their roles in the economy, not just as consumers, but as makers and supporters of makers, we have to show them how their things are made. So, what does this look like for you, the consumers? Well, first, start by having a conversation with yourself about the type of consumer you are, but also about the type of consumer you want to become, right? This may result in taking that old pair of boots to a shoe repair shop rather than tossing them out and buying something new. Or it might look like buying clothing that's more durable, something made to last, timeless, not trendy. These are individual decisions that you can make, right? But this isn't just an individual fight. Corporate greed feeds on our collective bad habits. Many of these companies even go as far as using the causes we care about, taking our values to sell us things without upholding those same values within their own four walls. All of this is done in service to their shareholders, not the people they claim to serve, us. This is why your choices matter. When we act collectively, we stand a chance at disrupting the cycle. You alone have the agency, but together we have the power. I recognize that these conversations can be tough to have, and some of these decisions can be tough to make, but it is our only way forward beyond hyperconsumerism. So, what I want everyone to do after leaving is I want you to take this craft mentality and be thoughtful about the products you make, the objects you buy, and the objects you choose to keep alive. Thank you.